Hey everyone, and welcome back to Color Me Conway. If you've been following along with this series, you know today we are talking about Severance Season 2, Episode 7. So, let's get into it. Okay, before we get into the actual episode, for a moment, sidebar, how is everyone else feeling that this episode was 50 minutes and the next one is saying that it's going to be 37? I'm sorry, can you just get our shit together? Because not only am I not getting enough episodes, like we're only going to get 10, now I'm going to have an episode that's 37 minutes. And oh, by the way, I'm pretty sure you do about 7 minutes of credits. So you're telling me that I'm only going to get 30 minutes in the next episode? I don't know if that irritates anyone else, but it very much irritates me. So I just had to acknowledge that quickly. And now we can talk about Season 2, Episode 7. I honestly don't even know where to begin. I left Episode 7 with so many gut-wrenching emotions. Let me know if you felt the same, that this one feels like it's going to be a little bit hard to dig into, but I'll give it my best shot. So let's just start with, what did we see in Episode 7? Episode 7 was centering around Mark and Gemma's relationship and what's happening to Gemma today. So this was our first glimpse into what's actually happening down on the testing floor. The thing that stood out to me most, which is you can be severed multiple times. I think up until this point, I have always sort of thought of severing as your innie and your outie, single and single. It is clear through the experience that we see Gemma going through that you can be severed far more than just once. I think if you look across all the rooms, she might be severed close to 7 or 8 times, at least 6.
How many rooms today? 6.
And each room presenting itself with a different version of Gemma. I think that was an unbelievable development, and just goes to show you that, being severed isn't just sort of an on and off switch. You can have many innie personalities that are meant to shield you from what feels like uncomfortable experiences. Throughout the episode, we see Gemma go to the dentist. We see her grapple with turbulence on a plane. She seems to be going through some type of torture in the Christmas room. And then it feels like the version of her outside of the rooms is not even the first personality that we were presented with from season 1, being Miss Casey. This version of Gemma does have memories of Mark, is constantly referencing when she'll get to see him. So it definitely begs the question, did she really die? Did Lumen bring her back to life, or did Lumen kidnap her? And is the body that Mark saw and identified as Gemma really Gemma? So I would love to know what people are thinking about that. Any, comments, theories. Also, can we just appreciate how shitty it would be to be the innie that only goes to the dentist? No thank you on that one. Another thing that I've been seeing online is that Irving might be severed multiple times as well, and that Petey from season 1 might have also been severed multiple times. When he was reintegrating, he referenced an area of the building in Lumen where the people were not allowed to leave, which, seeing episode 7, makes you think that potentially he had some type of experience on that floor. Please let me know your thoughts, theories, comments. That really stood out to me for this episode, as it did for many. So yeah, let me know. Okay, the next thing that I think we just need to talk about is, throughout the story we see between Mark and Gemma, the blood drive and the fertility clinic both have Lumen logos on them. So it makes you wonder if Lumen was using things like the blood that people were donating, as well as people coming into the fertility clinic to target or recruit people to be a part of their experiments. There's also a single shot at the fertility clinic where we do see Dr. Maurer briefly, so it's hard to deny that Lumen might have been specifically targeting Gemma as a candidate for whatever experimenting they're trying to use her for. Seeing that they were connected both to the blood drive and the fertility clinic, I think adds a layer about what this organization was previously or was trying to do versus, where they are today and what they're trying to accomplish now. Curious what you guys are thinking about seeing them in the flashbacks with Mark and Gemma and how you think that connects to today. This whole episode was a little bit of like a mind trip, so would love any clarity that you guys have, let me know. Another thing from this episode that I think was pretty impactful was seeing the team of, refiners refining the macro data refinement team. And not just one, that they existed, which that was enough to blow my mind anyways, but two, the fact that they resembled Mark, Dylan, Helly, and Irving was another level of just weird and creepy. So that opened up a couple questions for me, and I'm curious of your thoughts is, one, do each one of those refiners and the MDR team have a Gemma that is being tested on? And two, it seems like they're stress testing the Severance technology. So it just begs the question, what happens when they do get to those final rooms? Would love to know if you guys have any theories there. And then the third thing for me with that cryptic refining team that looks like the MDR employees is, why was Irving still there? Because Irving was, fired and is now just his Audi, but there was still an Irving lookalike in the refiner team. So are they surveilling Irving's Audi for some reason? Curious if anyone has any thoughts on why there would still be that fourth person. Okay, let's also talk about Dr. Ragabi and Devin. What is Devin thinking when Dr. Ragabi's still trying to monitor Mark and Devin suggests calling Mrs. Cobell? Like, what a terrible, terrible idea that would be. But it does make you question sort of what's going on, because Dr. Ragabi, one, is super against it, I think for obvious reason, but does go as far to tell Devin that Gemma is alive, and that is not what she said to Mark when he asked the same question in a previous episode. So it makes you wonder, like, what are her intentions with reintegrating Mark, and what does she want to get out of this? So would love to know what you all are thinking about Dr. Ragabi, and would also love to know if anyone else disagrees with me that calling Cobell would be a huge, huge mistake. But let me know. I'm curious if anyone thinks I'm wrong on that one. And then I think the last thing for me in this episode was the gut-wrenching escape attempt that Gemma made at the end, which, first of all, absolutely loved that she hit Dr. Maurer with the chair. He sucks. But nothing made me sadder than when she entered that elevator and turned into Miss Casey. I was like, this girl cannot catch a break. And then, of course, Milchek there, out of breath in his stupid leather jacket, forcing her to go back down. I was just like, oh my gosh, are you kidding me? I think that's the saddest scene I've seen this whole season. Like, that was just so sad. And then, she just goes back down to the floor and realizes that she's stuck there. I mean, the level of torture happening is just, it's gut-wrenching. I felt so bad for her. But this was a super interesting episode. I mean, a lot of things we got exposed to that we have not seen before. The elevator has been a symbol since season 1, so getting to finally get down on the floor and see what's going on was huge. But again, I left with more questions than answers, so would love to know what you all are thinking. If you made it this far in the video, thank you so much for watching. I feel like this was probably my most scattered one yet, but it definitely left me with the most emotions. So, we're just gonna go with it for now. But thank you so much for watching. Please smash the like button, consider subscribing, and I will catch you in the next one.